Hey you, welcome to my channel. My name is Toby. We will go through a stretching routine, and this stretching routine is specifically built and designed for not so flexible men or guys. Because I've been there, I've trained a lot, I lifted a lot of weights, and I felt like my flexibility was going downhill, and I couldn't even touch my toes anymore. And if you feel the same, or if you want to improve your flexibility, again, this is for you. Because life in general is so much better if you're flexible. It is so beneficial for you, especially when you get older. If you want to move and if you want to continue to move, flexibility is so essential. So this is easy. You could do this every day if you want to. I would recommend you do it on a regular basis, at least 3 times a week. It's just 20 minutes. You can come onto the mat or anywhere you want to do it and continue with your day. I have not much more to say. We don't need anything else, just us and a little practice space. If you have a mat, that's great. If you have a wall, that's great. If you have something like yoga blocks, that is great, but not essential. So we directly start in a standing position. Feet are hip width apart, and then just bring your chin to your chest, roll your spine down. Let's hang out here for a moment. The arms just can dangle down, but you can also grab the opposite elbows with your hands and let yourself hang out a bit more. Your spine can be rounded here. Your legs can be still deeply bent if you will like that. If you feel comfortable with straightening the legs, feel free to do so as well. Just that you know, if you bend your legs a bit more, the stretch will be more in your lower back. If you straighten the legs, it will be more in your hamstrings and the back side of your leg. And if you can bring the hands to the ground, feel free to do so as well. We stay here for another 20 seconds. Most of the stretches we will hold for 30 seconds to 60 seconds. Slowly bring your hands to your chin, straighten your legs, and straighten your lower back, your upper back. Have a long spine gaze, slightly to the front. We stay here and you lean your upper body as much down and forward as you can, but you try to stay straight in your spine. You push your hips back. Crown of the head is pulling forward. Now we specifically stretch out the back side of our legs a bit more. Round your spine, hang out again. Maybe you can fold deeper already and then slowly roll up the spine. Come to the top, find a stand. Feet hips width apart again. Straighten the arms up to the sky. The right hand will grab the left wrist. And then you pull your left arm over to the right side. If you want more, your left foot can step over to the right side as well. So you cross your legs and you stretch out your side body for a moment. Lateral bend to the right side. You try to push your left hip to the left, but pull the left hand to the right side. Slowly come back to the middle, switch the hands, switch the feet. Left hand is grabbing through the right wrist, right foot is stepping over to the left side, and you pull yourself to the left side. We feel a stretch in the right side body. And slowly release, come back to your normal stand, and then find a position where you're on your knees and your hands. So the hands are under your shoulders, the knees are under your hips, and we will arch out the spine. So you bring your gaze up, you pull your pelvis up, the belly button is pulling down, you try to roll your shoulders back, arch your spine out as much as you can, and then you round your spine as much as you can. You pull the shoulder blades apart, pelvis is rolling down, chin to chest. Arch out the spine, gaze up, pelvis pulls up. Round your spine, pull the shoulder blades apart, chin to chest. Gaze up, pelvis up. Super good exercise for your spine, for your lower back, for your upper back. Round your spine, pull the shoulder blades apart. Pay attention to your shoulder blades. Also pull them apart and bring them together when you arch up. One more time, rounding. One more time, arching. Come back to the middle. Come onto the fingertips. Step your left foot forward to the outside of the left hand. And then move your right hip forward. Here it can be comfortable or useful to use blocks if you have something like this. Or something like an object that you can use to bring your upper body a bit higher. Also, if you're not that flexible yet, that can be quite useful to make it more comfortable for you. But also, being on the fingertips or on the hands can be quite useful here. Feel free to adapt and to find the way that works for you. If you have an object, use it. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. What you should worry about here is pushing the hip forward, sink into your hips. And also if you're just like somewhere here and you already feel a stretch, stay there. It is just important that you feel the stretch. If you can straighten the upper body up a bit, that's awesome. Don't try to be too rounded here. If you feel like you're rounded, just try to pull your chest a bit more forward, roll the shoulders back. Just stay here for a little bit longer. And then move your hips back, straighten the left leg out. Here again, blocks can be useful if the ground is too far away, but you can also stay on your fingertips or on your fists, whatever works for you. You try to push the left heel into the ground, pull the ground towards you. If it feels better for you, you can also bring the left leg more to the center. If you have blocks, it's super useful to have a straighter spine here and to try to pull the left hip back to feel a stretch in the backside of your leg again. Just stay for a bit. If you can, straighten your spine more, especially the lower back. Toes pull to your face. And then slowly move out of it, move forward again, bring the fingertips to the ground again, step your left knee back. Step the right foot forward to the outside of the right hand. Shift the hips forward. Maybe use the blocks, hands on blocks. Upper body is as straight as possible, roll the shoulders back, sink into your hips. We are trying to stretch out the hip flexor here. Hip flexor is a muscle that is shortened for most people because if you sit a lot, if you drive a lot, if you are at the desk a lot, you will or you won't use your hip flexor so much, so this part of your leg is mostly shortened. And this can be a reason that you have low back pain. Because when the hip flexor is too short or not flexible enough, it will pull your upper body forward and you feel lower back pain, maybe through it. Always try to breathe when you're in those poses. Allow yourself to exist in those poses. And then slowly shift back. Straighten your right leg. If you want to, bring the right leg more middle, hands on blocks or on the ground. You try to straighten your lower back a bit more, pull the right heel towards you, as if you could drag the ground towards you. Toes pull towards your face. Right hip tries to pull back as well, and you elongate your backside of the right leg a bit more and more. The upper body sinks as much forward as you want to, but try to pay attention to a straight lower back, or kind of straight. Slowly release. Shift yourself out of it. Place the blocks to the side. We go to the wall for a little moment. The thing that we will do at the wall is just a split shoulder opening, chest opening. So we will bring the hands to the wall. Like on shoulder height, we walk a bit away from the wall and then we just hang out here. We sink into the shoulders, arms stay long, hips are pulling back, and we just passively sink into a shoulder space. Stay here just for a couple of breaths. Slowly come out of it again. Move to your practice space or your mat again. Find a laying position on your belly. Straighten the left arm out. Roll to your left hip, right foot steps over you. Find a little stretch to your left shoulder. Find a position first. The right hand is pushing slightly into the ground to bring you deeper into it. But also don't overdo it. If it feels a lot already, just stay there or go out of it again a bit more. Switch to the other side, right arm straightens out, left foot steps over you, left hand pushes into the ground. Feel a slight stretch on your right shoulder or your right arm. Slowly come out of it. Find a laying position on your back. Turn around. Head lands. Back lands. Pull your knees into your chest. Roll from side to side over your lower back for a moment. Massage your lower back. And then pull the right knee in. Left leg straightens out. And you bring your right knee over to the left side. Your right arm straightens out. The right shoulder lands on the ground, and then the right knee tries to pull you down to the left side of the floor. And it gets heavier and heavier. And you twist out your lower back, your middle of your spine, the middle of your whole body. Twisting is super beneficial to chill out, to release tension in your spine, to chill out your nervous system as well. If you want, you can also push the knee a bit more to the ground with the left hand, but it's not very necessary. And slowly switch to the other side. Right leg lands, left knee pulls in. And you guide your left knee over to the right side. You straighten the left arm out, left shoulder is grounded, and then the left knee is sinking down to the ground. If you want, you can put the right hand on top of the knee and push it down slightly. Stay here for a bit. Try to let go of tension. If you feel resistance, try to loosen it. Slowly come back to the middle, roll up, find a seat. Pull your left leg closer to you, your right leg in front of the left leg, and try to walk the feet out a bit. Like, if you can have them on the height of your knees, that would be perfect. If they are here, try to bring the legs more apart. Like, have some space in between the legs, and then walk the feet wider. Try to find a position here. Straighten the spine for a moment. Both sit bones are on the ground. And round your spine forward. Hands can land. Maybe you are somewhere here or you sink down into the lower. Maybe the forearms can land and you round your spine down. You may feel a little stretch in your outer right hip or somewhere else. This is a very comfortable and nice hip stretch if you're not used to hip stretches. Just stay here for another like 20 seconds before we move on. Slowly come out of it, and we just switch legs. So right leg is getting closer to you, left leg in front of you. Find your setup first. If you can, feet on the height of your knees. Straighten your spine for a moment, and then roll forward. Hands land, maybe forearms land. Sit bones stay on the ground, you round your spine forward. Sink into it as low and as deep as you can, and if you as you want to. Just like another 20 seconds. Slowly come out of it. Place the hands to the ground behind you. Place your heels on the ground. Knees are pointing up. And then drop the knees to the left side as much or as low as you can. If you can bring them to the ground completely, have a 90-degree angle in both legs. And then pull them back to the middle. Drop them over to the right side. Same on this side. Just on your own terms and your own pace, move from side to side. Use your hips a bit here. Go through the hip joint. Next time your knees drop to the left side, you move your upper body to the left leg. Place your fingertips to the ground to both sides of your leg and lean forward. Also, if you want, you can crawl the hands forward or even can bring the forearms to the ground and feel an outer hip stretch here as well. Just for a moment. Nothing too specific, nothing too deep, nothing too intense. Slowly come out of it, drop the knees over to the right side. Same here, you can place your fingertips to the ground and lean forward. You can also crawl the hands forward and maybe even come onto the forearms. Knees stay on the ground. Slight outer hip stretch, nothing too intense. So if this is too intense, come out of it a bit. Maybe stay on your hands. Maybe have the upper body a bit higher. Then come out of it. Bring your legs together. Find a kneeling position at the end of the mat or at your practice space. Knees a bit wider, big toes touch. Shift yourself back to the heels. Walk the hands forward. Let the upper body sink down to the ground. Maybe your forehead lands, your chin lands. Try to ground your bum to your heels and crawl the hands forward. So you create a very long back. And try to get heavy here. In your upper body, your chest, and your belly, everything sinks down. Try to lose tension. Just try to sink into this pose for a little moment. Super, super beneficial pose to release tension in your back. But also in your hips if you stay here long enough. Slowly come out of it. Find a seat. If you want to, you can stay in the last pose even longer. Chill out. Find some rest. But this is the full practice. This is all the parts that you stretch here in the session today. We covered quite a lot of your body. It's not all that you could stretch, but it's the most important part we stretch today. And like I said in the beginning, it would be beneficial to do it more often. Like one time stretching is not enough. You need to do it on a consistent basis, and you will feel a difference after a while, but you need to be consistent with it. Give yourself input, give your muscles input, stretch them out. Maybe with this session, maybe with other sessions. It's super important, especially the hips and the hamstrings need some attention and some love if you are sitting a lot and if you are working on a desk or something else. And if you feel like you have lower back pain, mostly it's shortening of the hips. Thank you so much for your time. Hope to see you back here on the mat very soon again or somewhere on the channel, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace out.